I wish I could sit here and tell you that I had this well thought out, laid out plan to bring an RPO firm in back in 2016, but that wasn't the case at all. So when I joined in 2013, we had a traditional internal recruitment model. We had probably a dozen to 15 recruiters on hand who were really stretched. They were in a sense overwhelmed with the number of recs that they were handling. And I remember one day I got a call from the head of ambulatory, and I answered the phone in my office, and she says, you know, Bob, you're killing me. We don't have staff for the clinics. So that was sort of a wake-up call. You know, we had people who were really good individuals, but were overwhelmed. We had really no process to speak of. Our process was pulling resumes off of Career Builder, and then walking into a hiring manager's office and saying, you know, who do you want me to call in for interviews? The time it would have taken to build a very disciplined process, to have recruiters trained, and to take advantage of the technology, the net that you cast was so much greater than what we could ever have done. I will say that when we set out to do this, this wasn't about saving money. You know, I think a lot of times, you know, organizations want to do this to cut costs, and I, for the life of me, I can't understand why you would look to this kind of a process to bring in your most important asset to an organization and look to cut corners and save money. There's thousands of places, you all know, within healthcare that you can find savings. And so I found myself, it's an easy target because it's a big line item. And everyone wants to, you know, get their hands on it. But I spent a lot of time, you know, protecting that and saying, look, you know, let's look elsewhere for cost savings. So I was happy to spend the same amount of money I was spending as long as I got better quality talent as well as got them in the door faster. So from that point forward, I spent a lot of time researching RPO firms. I had not worked with them before. I was aware of what they did, and I spent a lot of time looking into the variety of different kinds of RPOs that existed, with the goal of coming up with a short list of people that we wanted to really get serious about. And I remember sitting home on weekends just researching, and I came across a website for Human People Solutions based out of Jacksonville, Florida, and I was intrigued by it. And as I talked to them, I realized one of the key differentiators between RPOs was their business model in terms of how they charged. And the majority of them charged by rec, which was not something that I was really interested in. I wanted to be able to predict what my costs would be. And Human People Solutions essentially charged by recruiter, or as they refer to as by the seat. And you essentially buy recruiters. So we decided to partner with them. And you know, their culture really manifested itself in the team that they put together. So that was a huge advantage for us. We had people that were really, really engaged that were part of our team. And so what I decided to do, because I was nervous about turning over responsibility in some ways of bringing talent into the organization, I had said to the CEO at the time, if we do this, I want to do it where I stay connected with you. I don't want to sign a deal and then, you know, never see you again. And so what we agreed to do was talk to one another every 2 weeks. And we did that for 8 years, believe it or not. And whether we needed to or not, every other Monday, we would talk to one another and stay connected. I wanted to be sure that we weren't taking advantage of each other along this journey. And so that really proved to strengthen the partnership. with respect to measurement, one of the 5 things that Zach mentioned was the reporting, and we had a regular process of getting together and doing business reviews. And so there was a whole host of metrics that we looked at, but it was a very disciplined process where they would come to Chicago, and sometimes we would go down to Florida and spend time training them on certain things. But it was that kind of partnership. And when they came, we spent a great deal of time going over the performance of their people, and they would bring recruiters with them, and we'd see the kind of specific goals and how disciplined they were in terms of their daily activities. And so we started out with 50 jobs in ambulatory, and I said, if you nail it, I'll commit to you that we will grow the partnership. And that first weekend, we had over 3,000 people apply for those 50 jobs in one weekend. And so that was the beginning of this partnership. And so we grew the business in terms of clinical, non-clinical jobs. They've done some executive search for us as well. And then we had them also doing the onboarding. And they started to do work for the biological sciences division. They were hiring some faculty there. We also had them do our primary care physicians. And now I hear just recently that they're talking to the university itself to do some of the faculty appointed physicians. So it's been a great ride, and they're still there today. So it wasn't necessarily me, it was what they do and how they do it that really sustained their partnership.